You got it locked in. Episode 20 of the Division Podcast.
Twinkie.
My dog back up in here, man. Reggie F, baby. What it do?
Yes, sir. Back in the building. Shout out to everybody.
Man, missed you last weekend.
Sure did miss y'all guys, too.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Gabe birthday and whatnot. You was out. We kind of gave Gabe a shout out. You ain't get him too talk-alike, huh?
Son 21st birthday, you know what I mean? It was nice to see him make it there. Didn't really see him too long because, you know, they had to go do their thing.
Yeah,
so,
can't be around Dad too
well, I had to work. He wanted me to go take him out of town. I was like, I can't do that.
Trying to go ahead and go get it in. Not during the week, though. Not during the week.
No, I mean, he just popped it on me that day. If we would have planned it, it would have been different. But, you know.
Well, shout out to Gabe again, man. Happy birthday, 21st. That's a big one.
Shout out to Gabe.
That's a big one. Shout out also to Fur and Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor doing some things with his Little League baseball team. Waylon is a coach, in case y'all don't know, on the side. So he's doing some things with his baseball team. And Fur is holding down the homestead. Should be back in here next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we got a lot to get into, man. We got NBA to get into. KD making his comeback right now tonight.
Off the bench. Where he should come from.
Yeah, off the bench because, you know, he was hurt for 2 months. So we're going to bring him in slowly.
LeBron never came off the bench.
We got UFC. We ain't about to start.
LeBron never. I'm just saying, LeBron never came off the bench.
NFL mock draft information. We got they got all kind of mock drafts out there, and who's your top 5 this and top 5 that. We're going to get into all of that. And also, we're going to show some love to Fallen Soldier, hoping that he bounces back DMX a little bit later on in the show. But first, we got to get into it. The national championship game was held over, Monday.
That's right.
Gonzaga.
That's right.
Baylor.
That's right.
Now, I hadn't really watched a lot of college basketball, Reggie F. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I really got into it in the tournament and really got into it in the Sweet 16. So when they said Baylor and Gonzaga was going to be playing for the national championship, I figured that was the matchup everybody had wanted to see from the beginning of the season. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, and they actually was supposed to play during the season, but the game got canceled due to COVID.
Yeah.
So nobody got a chance to see it. That's what everybody wanted to see it, but then they got a chance to see it on the biggest and brightest lights in college basketball.
And bruh, you want to talk about A kicking? Oh yeah, they got that keep tick thing.
I mean, they did lose by 4. By 16.
Yeah, thank you. Get it right. Don't say about
they
4.
They did lose by 16, but you know,
they got ran over. Pretty much, they got ran over, dog. Did you watch that game?
Yeah,
they got ran over, man. Started 9-0.
And shout out to Baylor, man. Look, I'm sorry for disrespecting y'all on my bracket. I actually picked Baylor when I first initially did my bracket, and then I watched a couple things on ESPN, and they persuaded me toward Gonzaga, and I picked Gonzaga, and wind up losing out on close to $1,000. But you know,
wow.
It is what it is.
A whole $1,000. You know, you put $1,000 on Gonzaga. Plus, you had them in your bracket, huh? In your bracket challenge to win the.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And, you know, wind up losing. But shout out to Baylor. They have a hell of a story. I'm not going to get all deep into their story, but a lot of things happened with their university, and they was pretty much at the bottom, and the coach came in and changed the program and got these players to believe in the program and go to that college. They actually had 2 players.
A bunch of football players look like. Bruh.
Yeah, one of them, he from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Shout out.
Yeah, he actually had the most points in that game. Vital. And
Mitchell,
like I
Butler,
said,
guys I ain't never really had heard of. I hadn't really watched.
Shout out to the first of all, the coach. He's a great coach. Storyline great, and then the players. They knew nobody could have beat him. And with everybody saying Gonzaga was going to win
that's the coach, Scott Drew.
Everybody saying Gonzaga was going to win it, pretty much win it, and it was like said and done, and Baylor they didn't believe that, and they showed it.
You know what I thought it was? I guess a lot of people wanted to see Gonzaga break that streak. Well, not break the streak, but
go undefeated.
Yeah, and that hadn't been done since Indiana had did it back in the 70s with Bobby Knight and them and whatnot. So,
and that's always a great story.
Then they were the darlings, and people figured that they would go ahead and, you know, finish it off. It would be a great story to talk about. Baylor was like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
hold on for a second, bro.
Yep. And Timmy had 12 points. You know, he tried to do his thing, but they held him in check. You know, and Suggs. Freshman, I think he's gonna leave. Some people saying
Timmy
he's
look like trash.
But Suggs, he had 22 points in the game, so he looked pretty good.
Suggs was the only one that really brought any type of energy for Gonzaga at all.
Yep.
That's what I seen. Timmy, every time Timmy got the ball, it was a turnover. They were on him. The defense, I hadn't seen defense play like that in college in a long time, bro.
No, and then Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, man.
It's not Donovan Mitchell, but I call him Donovan Mitchell because he wear number 45 and he kind of play like Donovan a little bit, with his size.
But Donovan wore his jersey though. He wore his 45 because they both wear the 45.
Yeah,
and
that's
he was
what I'm
giving
saying.
him a shout out.
Well, that's why the guy wear the 45, and his last name is Mitchell. It start with a D. It's similar, but he had 15 points in the game. He's one of their best players, two-way players. And then also Butler. Butler is actually from Reserve, Louisiana, and he had 22 points in the game. That's the number 12.
So there's a lot of Louisiana players that's out there for Baylor.
Yeah, they had a couple of them that went there. They started those two, Vital and Butler. But man, shout out to the rest of the team, man. They took care of their business too. Teague, he had 19 points. I like him. He's really good as well.
Yeah.
So. And then you had the big center doing his thing.
I was
on
impressed.
The boards.
I was real impressed. Thamba, I think that was his name, Thamba, and they had another big guy, Vital on the boards. Like Gonzaga couldn't do anything with the balls on the boards and whatnot.
Thamba.
I think Thamba. I think that's his name.
I'm talking about Chatua.
With the T. Yeah, we ain't gonna try to chop your name up.
Look, he's right there on the right hand side, number 23.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I threw this one up there because Texas, national champion from Texas. The last time a national champion in basketball came from Texas was back in 1966.
Wow.
Was the first all-black basketball team, Texas Western, back in 1966, and now 2021.
That's the last
Baylor.
time a Texas team won a national championship in basketball.
Well, yeah, Reg, that's what they said, man. That's what.
Well,
the stat was,
between them and the Cowboys, they had over 100 years.
It's hard in basketball, though, man. It's hard in
Dallas. Period.
And we ain't even talking about football. See where you take it? You see where you take it? We talking about NCAA, Baylor Bears. Congratulations. Now the question is, did Gonzaga choke? That's what I want to know. Did they choke?
I think no. You know what? I tell you what I think happened.
Okay.
I think that that game with UCLA, I think it wore them out, and Baylor came in full speed ahead from the beginning, and I think that they were still a little flat. They celebrated that game a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped up there and did like LeBron James
and Dwayne Wade
and
all
Dwayne
on the
Wade
scoring table and everything.
It looked like they won the championship. The way they celebrated that game, and I think maybe they just took it too far up and couldn't level out to play that next game against Baylor, who was ready to come at them because everybody was saying Gonzaga was going to win.
Baylor had just blew out Houston, who had made it to the Final Four, who was a pretty good team. They had just blew them out, I want to say, by 19. You know what I'm saying? In the Final Four. So Baylor was ready. Baylor took out, I want to say in their last 4 games, they won by at least 15 points.
Yeah.
And Gonzaga was just another team that got hit by the buzzsaw.
Yeah, they got dealt with, man. Besides Suggs 22 points, Timmy 12, and Kispert, he had his 12. He's a good shooter. Other than that, you didn't have nobody else in double figures for Gonzaga.
I didn't really see anybody else scoring.
That's not usual. And they had a lot of turnovers.
This is true.
They made a lot of mistakes, left a lot of people wide open. They definitely didn't play defense.
Suggs was like the only one that really seemed like he was out there with some heart, wasn't really intimidated too much. But you can't have just a guard, and you playing against trees. These dudes were long, they were strong, they were all up in them boy chests. They were causing turnovers.
You had 4 players in double figures from Baylor. Mm-hmm. And then on the boards, Vital, he had 11 boards.
And that was
I said he had 11 points earlier, but he had 6 points. My bad. He had 11 boards.
And that was off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they were just ready. They were ready. And I think Vital's like 26 years old. He's like an older guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not a youngster. So he was ready when he came up in there. That was his chance, his opportunity. Probably not going to the NBA, but that was his moment right there. So he wanted to make sure that he shined.
You don't know if he going to the NBA or not. Why would you say something like that?
I'm just saying that's not his goal. He stayed in school just for that purpose.
Do you know him?
Man, I read up on the story, Reg.
So
I'm
he
just
said his
saying.
goal is not to go to the NBA?
I'm not saying that's not his goal, but
Well,
if
what are
you're
you
20,
talking
if
about?
you're 26 years old and you hadn't made it to the NBA yet, chances are you might not.
Why not? He just won a college championship. Now he can go. Listen, they have some players that go through things in life that push them back to where they can't go and play, and then they have to wait a couple years for whatever the reason is, and now he's making a push to go. You forgot about that quarterback that played in college years ago that was like 28 years old, and he was
Winky.
and he wound up going to the NFL.
Chris Winky.
That's who it was?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Chris
He played
Winky.
at Florida State.
I couldn't remember his name, but Chris Winky, exactly.
And
That's
he
what I'm
ain't played
talking
long.
about. So it's sometimes it's like that, man. Some people, might mess up in life or slip a little bit in life, and they go after it again.
Well, not to say
you never,
he
you
can't
never,
make it there,
you shouldn't look at the age and judge him on the age when it comes to stuff like that. Because if he's dedicated and he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's even older, that means he's smarter and he can be even better.
He's a big boy. Well, shout out to him if he does make it. If he does make it, kudos to him. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you're
quit
26
getting caught
and
up
you
with
ain't
all
made
the
it.
age stuff. Because back in the day,
But if you're
back in the
26
day,
and
they
you
used to
ain't made it
graduate
yet.
from college when they was 24 years old and going into the league at 25. But now they going into the
Oh, that's a
league
different era now,
at
partner.
20, 21,
Oh,
and
that's
22. So
done.
that's why you're looking at it like that. Don't
That-
forget where you come from,
No,
Ryan.
that's done, man. 26 years old. If you ain't made it by the league by now, something up. Something up.
I
They
just
taking
told
them
you.
19, 20,
Things-
21. You might
things
come in as
happen.
a free agent or might come
Things happen.
But I'm talking real. I'm not
Things
talking about
happen.
things
How
could
you know-
happen.
how you know you
These
wasn't playing
teams,
like-
they take them from young. They want to develop them.
Yeah, but what about these players that go play in the European League and stuff like that for basketball, and they go play over there? Okay, what about Warren Moon? Warren Moon played in the Canadian League for
But
how
that's
many
a different
years?
time, though,
It
Reg.
doesn't matter.
Warren
It doesn't
Moon, they
matter.
wouldn't
He
even let
came
black
to the
quarterbacks
NFL. He came to the NFL at a later age.
When black quarterbacks weren't starting in the league,
It
that's
doesn't
different, man.
matter. I'm just saying people take different routes to get to the NFL. It's not always high school, 4 years of college, and then boom, you're there. Not everybody take the same path.
Okay. All right. I want to see if I see Vito on somebody's team. I wouldn't doubt it.
You
I ain't-
probably would.
I
If
ain't
not,
trying
he
to
might
hate on
be.
the man.
he-
You trying to
he
make it seem
might-
like I'm
he
trying
might-
to hate
he
on the
might
young
go
man.
to-
I'm not.
He
I'm
might
not.
go to the G League. That's still more money than a lot of people make every year.
But I was talking about the NBA. That's what I was talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about,
I wasn't
too.
talking about G League. If you make it to the G League, kudos for you. You're making a
He's
good
still
living.
in
You're
the
doing
NBA.
well.
He's just the NBA G League.
No, you're in the G League. You're not in the
NBA
NBA. You're not in the
G
NBA. You're not in the NBA
get
playoffs
outta
with these
here.
boys playing. You're not with LeBron on this
Why
side.
all
and
these
KD on
NBA
that side
teams?
and
Why all
everything.
these NBA teams have G team G League?
It's just like the minor leagues. It's just like the minor leagues.
Exactly.
That's
So
what it
this
is.
part of the
But
NBA.
not everybody get called up from the minor leagues.
But it's
though.
part of the NBA.
Yeah, but it's not the
You getting
NBA
paid.
though, Reg.
You getting
It's not-
paid by the National Basketball Association. That is your employer. And
You know
then
what
your
I'm talking
team.
about. You know what I'm talking about. Why is you trying to sparse words? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the league. I'm talking about prime time. I'm
Look.
talking about ESPN TNT games. I ain't talking about G League. You got to go find it on NBA TV at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not
talking about that.
I am not trying to have a word or a sentence fused. What I'm trying to do here is establish the fact that people take different routes to get there. And
You are
need
right,
to
Reg.
respect that.
You are right, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Speaking of word and sentence feud, we got a feud going on right now. We about to get into NBA here in a little bit, but for everybody who's been watching the Division podcast, you know we're big into fantasy football, fantasy basketball,
Fantasy
Waylon plays,
baseball.
fantasy baseball, and it just happens this week. Me and Reggie F have a matchup going on, and it's kind of tight because we're trying to make it into the
Well,
playoffs
hold on.
right
Just
now.
back it up a little bit and tell them about the other day I was in 10th place and you was in 8th
Well, hold
place.
on. I got
And
the
you
setup.
started talking smack, and I told you I was going to be right back in a little while.
I got the standings for our division, where we're at right now, okay? I'm in 8, you in 10. It's close, though. You're only I want to say 2 games in the back of me. So this is a crucial matchup we got going on this week to try to get that 6th seed in the playoffs, because for our playoffs in Mr. Taylor League, it's his league, the top 6 make it. You know what I'm saying?
And we have maybe about 5 weeks left.
Yeah, about 5 weeks left. And my team had been hurt. I believe you had a lot of injuries on your squad. We've been working the waiver wire for all the fantasy players. Y'all know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So as of before we got on the air, this is where the matchup is at right now. Okay? The matchup right now, Reggie F is up 4-7.
No. 7-4. You can't be up 4-7.
Well, it says my name first.
I'm up 7-4.
But it's close. It's very close. You know what I'm saying? You up in 3-pointers. You're smashing me on 3-pointers, matter of fact. Points. Yeah, decent in points. You know what I'm saying? Rebounds, I can catch you. You only up 3. At the time, because right now it's changing. Even as we're talking, it's changing. Offensive rebounds, close. Assists, close. Steals, I can catch you in that. Blocks, close. Turnovers, I don't turn over the ball. You turn over all the time.
Look, I don't care.
And double doubles.
I don't care if you stay close like this the rest of the week. I'm good with that.
If I beat you by 1, I beat you.
You're not gonna beat me. I already told you. It's probably gonna be ending up 8-2.
8-2.
Watch this.
I got Embiid. I got KD coming back.
KD coming off the bench like he's supposed
to. For game 1, bro. That's game 1. He's coming off the bench after being out for 2 months.
Has LeBron ever come off the bench?
Injury.
Have LeBron ever come off the bench?
What that mean? Maybe he should. Maybe that would help him with longevity. What are you talking about?
Help who with longevity?
His first game back? If he had, the injury that this boy had where it looked like he got shot in the leg.
Who?
If he missed maybe like a month or 2, I'm talking about LeBron. If he missed like a month or 2, his first game back, you just going to throw him in there and say go?
Yeah, he not coming off the bench.
Okay, all right.
Because if
when they did that with KD last time, he popped his Achilles. They being careful with that, man.
Well, hey.
They being careful with that, bro.
You got to be careful with Sweet Pea.
Oh, Lord. You know something that I noticed when I wasn't up in here? That when you talked about the Nets, you actually spoke rationally. I didn't hear nothing about nappy hair. I didn't hear no clowning. I didn't hear no jokes. I said, listen at Reg. He's talking real basketball talk. Now, I'm up in here now. Now it's a joke.
No, it's not about that.
It's all jokes.
You know what it was? I didn't really talk too much about him at all, to be honest.
No, you did. I watched, I listened, and I was surprised.
I maybe talked like for 3 or 4 seconds.
But
I do that when I'm with you.
Though.
I speak well with you, but then after that, I gotta tell you how it really is.
Yeah, you gotta revert to your childish ways.
I have to tell you how it really is because you can't see it.
Okay, whatever.
Sometimes when you're on the inside, it's hard. It's hard to see outside.
I know they winning the chip. I know that.
What winning what?
The championship.
Who
Kyrie just had 40.
Who winning that?
40 the other night. KD coming back now. Harden, he'll be right in about 2 weeks or whatever. We just getting ready for the playoffs.
So you think that come playoff time, come championship time,
y'all
meet up with the Lakers. Y'all telling me that
y'all not even healthy. Y'all not healthy.
Y'all healthy?
Do y'all know what's wrong with AD?
Are y'all healthy? Kyrie just missed some games. KD
healthy.
just missed 23
Kyrie just
games.
scored 40 the other night.
Harden just missed some games.
Okay,
come on, man.
He's gonna miss some games.
They all been getting hurt.
We getting healthy at the right time, though.
Same thing here.
When is LeBron coming back?
That's not your business.
I'm asking a question. The people want to know. This is a podcast. They want to know. They might not watch basketball like us.
I'd say roughly about 3 weeks.
Roughly about 3 weeks. How about AD?
I'd say AD should be back in the next week and a half.
Is AD going to be 100% when he come back?
We don't put players on the court unless they're 100%.
So y'all just going to run them out there?
They worth too much money. No, we're not going to run them out there. That's why you do 3-on-3 drills. You do 4-on-4 drills. You do 5-on-5 drills before you even put him back in the game.
I guess what I'm asking is like, y'all going to put him on a minutes restriction once he come back just to get his
We don't put our players on minute restrictions.
But you act like that's a bad thing, though. Like, if y'all got a playoff spot already clinched, why go ahead? Just get, the legs going. Just get, the mojo going.
Okay,
why go out there and get him out there to get hurt?
We might do something like that, but we're not going to tell them take it easy.
No, I'm not saying you tell them to go ahead and take it easy. I'm just saying you don't just run them out there and just, like just go out there like you ain't been out the game for 2 months.
Look, our players is a little more masculine and a little more thicker and stronger.
Masculine?
Yeah.
The same dude that was on the court crying like somebody had shot him and then came back and shot a 3. That's masculine.
The same guy that's been doing this for 18 years. That's what you're talking about?
Okay, all right. What? The
KD done missed more games than LeBron missed his whole entire career.
KD had Achilles though, dude.
I don't care. He didn't miss more games.
You don't care. How you don't care?
I'm not saying I don't care that he got injured. I'm saying I don't care for the excuses.
That's not an excuse. That's a reason.
Well, LeBron played 18 years.
He never had an Achilles.
Well, that's his fault.
If LeBron popped his Achilles, he wouldn't be as durable as he is now.
If KD would drink milk, like he's supposed
I'm done
to
with you,
and drink
Reg.
his orange juice.
Let's get into the
and eat
games
his
that went
food.
on last
If he
night.
quit throwing his food in the trash and he'd gain weight,
We're going to
it
get
probably
into
wouldn't
the
be like
games.
that. And,
We had the
let me say
Warriors
one more
and
thing.
the Bucks. No, because you're clowning now.
No, I'm just saying.
We was having legitimate
we
basketball
are
talking.
having a
then here
legit.
you
I'm
come.
telling you,
Go drink your milk and eat your. Shut up, boy.
yeah,
Shut up, man.
and put a hot comb to your
I'm gonna
hair.
turn your mic off. That's what I'm gonna do.
For what?
The Warriors and the Bucks.
Now
from
when I
last
start
night,
speaking
man.
facts, he wanna turn my
Steph
mic
Curry,
off.
that's not facts. That's crazy. Steph Curry, 41 points last night, 6 rebounds, 4 assists,
His
5
mama said he
three-pointers
didn't
made
drink his milk.
as they beat the Bucks last night. Surprising
Shout out to the
win,
Warriors.
Won by a point. Steph
Shout
has
out to
been
the Warriors.
balling.
He beat Ryan old team.
Well, the Bucks was not my team. What you talking about?
Greek Freak was your man for a couple years.
I like Freak, but that Bucks wasn't my team. Though.
What you mean? You had Bucks attire.
What Bucks attire I had, Reg? You're lying.
You had a hat.
Now you're lying.
Bucks hat.
What Bucks hat I
Oh,
had?
gosh.
You
You
come
know
on
what?
here telling lies.
Wow.
Speaking of hats, I'm still waiting on the paper bag, but we gonna bring that up at another time.
That's your fault, man. I've been waiting.
Oh, whatever.
I've been sitting right here waiting for the bag.
People who don't pay off their
and
bets.
look, y'all, I'm trying to do this and really take care of that. I've been asking them, and it's always something. I've been asking for the bag. You know, most people don't
Go
ask
find
for
the bag. The bag is there. The bag can be found if you want to find the bag, but the bag has never been found. So hey, eventually, before football season starts, you will pay off that bet. We're gonna find some bags around here.
Bags, plural.
Bag.
Yeah, you just need one.
Okay. Joel Embiid, 76ers and Celtics. He had 35 points. His first game back last night, 6 rebounds.
Now, you see, that was his first game back from an injury. That's what you just said, right? First game back and got 35 points. So don't tell me nothing about what I just said.
Hold on. Did Joel Embiid come back from an Achilles?
What he came back from?
Did he come back from an Achilles?
What did he come back?
He had a strained leg.
KD not coming back from Achilles. KD is coming back from another injury.
He had a strained hamstring in the
Okay.
same leg he popped his Achilles on, dude.
So he's coming back from a hamstring injury right now, not the Achilles. So don't put that in.
Don't
in
make me
this-
break down anatomy for you. Okay,
Right.
Your Achilles is connected to your calf, which is connected to your hamstring.
wanna
And if
hear
you're having
all of that,
tension in
man.
that hamstring, then you want to take it easy because you don't want to re-aggravate the Achilles.
So don't say that he coming from an Achilles injury.
He is coming back from an Achilles, though. Like, y'all act like that never happened. What's wrong with y'all?
So where was all of this whenever he was scoring 30-some points a game and you're like, look what he doing coming back from an injury, baby,
coming back
KD.
because that's miraculous. I've never seen that.
Okay, so don't say
Dominique
he coming.
Wilkins didn't do that when
He
he came back
is
from
not
Achilles.
to the fans out there. He is not coming back from an Achilles injury. He did not re-injure his Achilles. He's coming back from a total different injury. Yes, it's in the same leg, but it's a completely different injury.
So it's in the same leg, but it's a completely different injury.
That's right.
It's not related.
That's right.
The bones and the tendons and the muscles ain't connected.
So you telling me? So you telling me his thigh is gonna cause him to pull his Achilles?
Is his thigh connected to his calf?
That's not
which
what
is
I'm
connected
asking
to his,
you.
No, answer my
Use
question.
your head.
Use my. It's all one leg.
If you
dude.
make your muscle in your thigh right now, you're gonna feel it in your Achilles. Answer that.
Waylon and Fur.
Answer that.
I need y'all next week.
If you squeeze your
I'm
thigh
having
right
a
now, your thigh
sentence
muscle,
feud.
will you feel
A
it in
word
your Achilles?
battle. All that's connected though, Reg. Come on, man.
wanna hear that,
be
man.
sensible, man. Be
You
sensible.
just got a soft heart when it come to KD, and that's
Let's get
ridiculous.
Lakers and
Your
Raptors.
baby daddy.
Lakers and Raptors. Taylor Horton Tucker, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists as they beat the Raptors by 9 last
That's how
night.
we handle business.
Also, we had the Pelicans. Zion been balling, but Ingram's been hurt, and they have been struggling. The Hawks beat him last night. Trae Young had 30 points, 12 assists, made 6 3-pointers.
It's been like this for years. We come out blazing, New Orleans Pelicans, and then we die out at the end of the game.
Zion, I believe he has a streak.
Got a lot of growing to do.
25 consecutive games of at least, I want to say 25 points and shooting 50% from the field. That hadn't been done since Shaq.
Since Shaq.
25 consecutive games. So from where he came from last year to where he's at now, can't call him a bust. A lot of people were trying to put that bust label on him. I think Zion is here.
No, Zion is not
ready.
a bust.
Oh, no, Zion's not a bust.
He's definitely not a bust.
And I like the Pelicans, but with Ingram being out, they got a good squad. They still kind of young, maybe a little thin. Could use some more veterans, maybe.
Well, they kind of bringing him in. They brought in a couple good players, not good players, but a couple veterans recently. But
Why they traded Redick though? They traded Redick. That wasn't a good move.
Well,
I didn't think that was a good move. I mean,
I would have liked to kept Redick, but at the same time, you know, they got some good stuff for him and got him while he's still hot. Reddick's still hot.
Yeah, you need shooters. But anyway, they got a chance to make the play-in game. We're going to break down for y'all in a little bit how that works. We had the Clippers and the Blazers. Paul George, playoff P.
Playoff P.
36 points, 5 assists, and he made 6 threes last night.
Yes, sir.
You had
fantasy.
A lot of people saying maybe MVP contention. Jokic, the Joker, Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists against the Pistons last night.
Yeah.
And also on my fantasy squad, Nikola Vujacic. He's starting to feel Chicago, starting to like the Windy City. Gave me 32 and 17 with 4 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying?
That was nice.
Starting to come into his own. Oh, he been balling all year. Came from Orlando. Been balling. So this is where we at right now with the standings. In the Eastern Conference, the top 8, you got Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Atlanta the 4th seed. And Charlotte's the 5th seed. Go ahead.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah.
Miami the 6th seed.
Charlotte is the 5th.
You got New York the 7th, and Boston is the 8th. Now, you also got to look at the 9 and the 10 because that's going to be in for play-in game implications.
Okay.
Indy and Chicago, they still got a chance to make something
And
happen.
where New Orleans at?
Well, this is the East.
Well, that's the East side.
So we're about to get to the West right now. In the West, number 1 seed is Utah. Then you got Phoenix. You got the Clippers. You got Denver. You got the Lakers holding on at 5. You got Portland at 6. Dallas at 7. You got Memphis at 8. And 9 and 10 would be San Antonio and Golden State. New Orleans, 2.5 games back of Golden State. So they got to start winning some games.
What position they in?
They right now, they would be, let me see, 8, 9, 10, 11 right now. They would be on the outside looking in. And they 2.5 games back. So they need Golden State to lose some games, and they need to win some games. Pretty much. That's where we at with that.
They just need a win.
Yeah, they just need to get some wins.
They playing right now, but they got a tough matchup right now.
Now I got some algebra for you. Now
Playing against the Nets.
We're going to break this down, right? Okay.
Nets.
Now, this how the playoffs is going to work this year. It's going to be starting in a few weeks, okay? So, it's totally different. Kind of like it was last year, but we're going to explain it to y'all real quick, okay? The 9th and the 10th seed from both sides and the 7th and the 8th seeds, they play each other, okay? Now, the winner of the 7-8 game is the 7th seed. And the winner of the 9th, 10th, they end up being the 8th seed, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading this thing right. And that's how I go for both sides. So if you're the 10th or the 9th, you still have a chance to get into the playoffs, but it's the play-in tournament.
That's that one play-in game.
Yeah, that's that play-in game. So even if you're 9th or 10th, you still got a chance. So you don't, just because you're not the top 8, you still want to keep balling. You still want to keep playing.
You know what? But
that
it's kind of messed up in a way too, though.
Yeah.
Because the 8 play, like the 7 and the 8, y'all was gonna automatically make the playoffs, but one of y'all not gonna make it, and then the 9 and the 10th ranked team gonna make it.
You work hard all season long.
Man, you know what? It's kind of making you feel like you need to stay away from the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. Period. Because you used to be, you made the 7 and 8 and then you was in the playoffs. Now you gotta fight for it.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, you just want to avoid all that. You want to avoid that because something could happen to where you don't end up making it, but you had a great season and looked like you would have had it, but then you fell off at the end. So just try to avoid that at all costs. People were talking about them Lakers might have had a chance to be falling down if they don't get nobody back.
What's next?
I'm just doing. What? So why would we talk Lakers?
What is
next?
next?
Go on with it, man.
What is next?
Oh, so that's how we gonna do?
What's next?
Oh Lord, power rank.
Yeah, because when I want to talk about KD and the Nets, you want to turn my mic off.
We just did. I didn't turn your mic off though.
But you threatened me to do it.
Yeah, I talked about it, but I didn't. You know how that goes. Power rankings. NBA.com power rankings. You got the Jazz at number 1. You got the Phoenix Suns at number 2. I want to say since the All-Star break, Phoenix has been one of the hottest teams. Chris Paul got them boys playing great ball, and Derek Booker and
Chris
DeAndre
Paul.
Ayton.
He's leading them, and they playing really well. But there's a whole lot of other players that's doing it too.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. You know.
Yeah, you got Booker. You can't forget Booker. That's their best shooter.
Yeah, they having a great season. I can't wait to see them in the playoffs.
I can't wait to see the Nets lose in the playoffs.
Nets number 3 in the power rankings. Nuggets number 4, and the Bucks are number 5.
Bucks
as far
gonna beat the
as
Nets.
Power rankings go. And leading the league, Reg's favorite segment of the program right here, the points, assists, and rebounds. We got leading the league in scoring right now, Bradley Beal, 31.
Shout out to Bradley Beal, man, with no team, man.
31. Thank you. Hold on. Because see, them boys tried to argue me last weekend. What you said, Reggie F? I'm going to put the camera on you. What you said about Bradley Beal?
Shout out to Bradley Beal with no team.
No team? Well, how about Westbrook?
What?
How about Westbrook?
Two people can't be a team, Ryan. You need more than that.
But he didn't automatically pop into your head, though, huh?
Who? Westbrook?
Like when you said no team, like you knew he was there, but that didn't automatically pop into your head that he was there, though.
Yeah, Westbrook popped into my head.
It's just
man.
like you had nobody.
Hey,
there,
Westbrook is. Let me tell you something. Okay. Since we're gonna go that route, I'm gonna tell you like this here. Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Westbrook, the continuation from last week. Westbrook is not overrated.
Oh.
He's not overrated. If that's what you was trying to get me to, admit, he's not.
You didn't bring him up though.
No, because we talking about Bradley Beal. He was the number. You just posted Bradley Beal, and that's why we talking about that.
Yeah, but you say he ain't had no team. He got Westbrook.
But you know what? That's mighty funny. You see, what I realize about you is that when you with somebody, you 100% with them, and then once you're not with them anymore, you don't even care about them anymore. Cause I can remember clearly whenever KD and Westbrook was your mans. Didn't you have Oklahoma City outfits? Didn't you have that? Didn't you have OKC attire?
Didn't you have Miami? And
but
Cleveland
no.
jerseys?
Didn't you have OKC attire?
Yeah, I did.
With Westbrook and Durant?
No, I never had Westbrook attire.
No, I said
had KD attire.
When Westbrook and Durant was there, you was wearing OKC.
I wore Kevin
And
Durant.
you talked about Westbrook, and then when he had the triple-double season, man, you know what?
That was after KD left, though.
You something else.
KD had left.
You something else. But
are
the
you
way
still
you was,
loyal to Cleveland and Miami?
But the way you was talking about him, no, I'm talking about calling a spade a spade.
What
the
you
way,
mean? I'm calling you the same thing with you. You know how we do.
We talking about players, not teams. The
Okay,
way you was talking
okay.
about Westbrook
Switch the
last week.
argument whenever it worked to your
way,
favor.
The way you was
Yeah.
talking about Westbrook last week, if I was a fan and I watched that show, I wouldn't have never thought you liked Westbrook from jump at all. But they don't know
But
how
that's
you
the
was
thing,
years ago
though.
and how you was all over him, and then all of a sudden he's overrated.
Who was all over Westbrook, though, Reg? When?
When?
You come in here and you lie. That's what you do. You lie. Nobody was all
Didn't
over
you
Westbrook.
say Westbrook
When?
was overrated?
I did say that last week.
Okay, then.
He
So
is.
why was he overrated when you was cheering for him?
We're not talking about then. We're talking
I'm asking
about right
you a
now.
question.
No, we're talking about the
He's
2020,
better now than he
21
was back
season.
then.
His team might not even make the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. I'm not
And he
talking
got
about.
another all-star on the side of him. Shouldn't them two be able to get it done if he's the triple-double king? If he's the MVP everybody talking about, can't I get in the playing game? That's what I'm talking about. Come on, man.
So has Steph and Clay ever won without Draymond and Kevin Durant?
I know Steph and Clay wasn't going to miss the playoffs with both of them on the court. I know that.
Steph and Clay
ain't never missed the playoffs with both of them on the court.
Steph and Clay was together years before they even won a championship because it was just two guards.
I like where you're going.
But then they got Drummond. Then they got
we ain't
Kevin
talking
Durant.
about nobody else. We're talking about the guard.
I'm just saying.
No, guard for guard, guard for guard. If Clay and Steph are on the court, are they missing the playoffs?
No, they're going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to win a championship.
Thank you.
Same thing with Portland.
I never asked Westbrook to go win a championship.
Yeah, but look what you just did. You said that they should be doing this and that. Same thing with Portland. You got Damian Lillard and you got McCullough. Okay? They not going to win no championship like that unless they get help. Now they starting to get some kind of help, but you gotta have help, Ryan. What do the Wizards have? Robin Lopez.
If you listen
Lopez at center.
If you listen last week, I never asked them boys to go win a championship. All I asked was for them to make the playoffs, not winning the playoffs. Just make the playoffs.
It's still difficult. Okay, name this. Besides Westbrook and besides Bradley Beal, who else is on their team that you know of?
You just picked up somebody that played for them, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what? Bertans?
No. This guy has been in the league 2 years that I picked up, and that's what you talking about?
They got players, man. They got players.
They don't. That's the Washington Wizards.
Okay, so you can't get a 10th seed to make a playing game. That's my only question. That was my argument.
What
last
are they
week.
ranked?
Let's see. Let's go back real quick. Because see, I wasn't even looking at the bottom of the standings. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Since we getting deep into it here, they are third from the bottom.
What number is that?
Cleveland ahead of them. Toronto ahead of them. They are, let me see, because you got Indiana at 9, Chicago at 10, Toronto at 11, Cleveland at 12, Washington's at 13. They not better than Cleveland?
Okay, that's just 3 spots behind.
They not better than Cleveland?
Obviously not.
They not better than Toronto?
Obviously not. In Toronto,
That's my
no,
point.
man. Toronto with Kyle Lowry and Siakam and all of them, no, they're not.
If Westbrook is all what y'all say he is, he's gonna get me to the playing game. That's all I'm asking. I ain't asking for him to go win the championship. I got Bradley Beal scoring 31 a game. We can't make the playing game.
Okay,
that was my point.
but here's the thing: you got Bradley Beal scoring 31 a game, but how is Westbrook gonna do what he got to do every game if Bradley Beal scoring 31 a game?
Well, then he's not what we thought he was.
Well, what you want him to average 32 next to him average
want
Bradley
him to do
Beal
like what
averaging
Chris Paul
31?
doing. I
Have
want
you
him to do
ever
like what
seen an
Chris Paul
NBA
doing.
team do that?
I want him to do like what Chris Paul doing.
How
Take
many-
a team that ain't
okay,
did
check
jack
this out.
last year
How much does
and lead them.
How much does Kyrie average? How much does KD average? How much does Harden average a game? Okay,
25 plus at least.
They can't all average what?
25 plus at least.
They can't all average 30 points a game.
Damn near. Close.
Okay.
Close.
Okay, even if they do that, they still have shooters. They have help over there. And look all the players.
We giving Westbrook
y'all
too
done
much
went
shine.
and got Pretty Ricky back to life and everything.
Second week in a row, I could not finish.
Y'all
Hold on.
pick up everybody that was on the waiver wire.
What, the remains of Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge? That's what we
I
talking
don't
about?
care. Y'all pick them up.
Well, y'all pick them up. And y'all just picked up somebody the other day, didn't y'all? Didn't y'all get Drummond? Y'all got Drummond, huh?
Yes.
Y'all sure did. And
Yes.
y'all picked up Shooter in the offseason, right?
And you know who was trying to get Drummond?
And then
y'all.
the Clippers just go pick up
The Nets was trying to get
Didn't
Drummond.
the Clippers just go get Rondo?
The Nets
and they
was
just picked up somebody else?
The Nets was trying to get Drummond, but he chose to go with the King.
People are making a playoff push. That's what you call that.
He chose to go with the King.
Rebound leaders. Clint Capella leading the league in rebounds right now. Rudy Gobert second. Valanciunas from the Grizzlies is third. Enes Kanter is fourth. And Vujacic, my dog, that's going to beat you this week.
For all y'all rebound lovers out there, here you go.
Yeah, man, people want to know. We talk fantasy, but we ain't going to talk about the stats at all. We ain't going to talk about that at all. Assists. Ooh, look who's leading the lead in assists. We got Harden, number one, ahead of Westbrook.
Ahead of who?
Ahead of Westbrook.
Ahead of who?
He's ahead of Westbrook.
Of who? What's his name?
Oh.
Westbrook. Yeah, you said it. You said it. Okay. You was just disrespecting the man, and look where
I'm
you
not
at.
disrespecting
Second
the
in the
man.
league.
Y'all
Second
act
in the
like-
league with a garbage team.
Y'all act like it's something bad to say that he's overrated if he can't get a 10th seed.
He is not overrated.
He's overrated.
You can't put that all on him. That's his first year over there with the team. You know, still trying to gel with everybody, having to play next to somebody who take 1,000 shots a game. You understand? Because Bradley Beal got 3 or 4 or 5 green lights a game. You know, he can shoot anytime.
Because he can hit.
So he's
Westbrook can't shoot.
Westbrook is just having to find himself and get in where he fit in right now.
Well, it's time
he's
for you to
not
find
the
yourself.
he's not the number one player on the team like he was in Oklahoma.
It's time to find yourself now. It's playoff push now. It's playoff time. Activate playoff mode. Ain't that what your boys say?
Well,
playoff mode activated. Come on, man. Anyway, is that it for basketball? You got any more points you want to make on basketball? Because we went long on Westbrook again. I'm not talking about Westbrook no more. No more. We're done with that.
Yeah, playoff talk, huh?
Playoff talk. Well, I guess it's kind of what we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are y'all gonna hold on? Are y'all gonna be in the playing game?
Don't ask me a ridiculous question like that.
That's what the media is saying. If y'all don't get them balls back, the media, yeah, y'all were what the 1 seed and y'all the fit now.
You are the media, Ryan. You saying that,
Reg,
not me.
You see stuff what's happening and you don't I don't understand how your brain works, dude.
Because you know what? Y'all always immediately go for the worst.
No, I'm going off of what I see. Off of what I see. They were the 1 seed, now they're the 5th seed.
What do we rank now?
Fit.
Okay.
Y'all fit.
Okay.
And if y'all don't get them ball back and keep losing games, y'all could be in the playing game. That's
so
possible.
we're going to make it all the way to the 9 and 10 spot?
It's possible. It's close, boy. It's
Okay.
a log jam.
No,
it's a log jam.
We winning over here, man.
It's a log jam.
Ryan, we champions. Don't forget that.
Yeah, with AD and LeBron.
Don't forget that.
If they come back, y'all all right. I'll give you that. Y'all all right.
We have the Cavs.
Okay.
We have the Cavs.
You need a cast on y'all neck. That's the kind of
The Cavs
y'all
did
got.
very well. Didn't you just show us with a victory? So what are you talking
That's
about?
1 out of 6. That's 1 out of 6. And your leading scorer has 17 points. Shut up.
We did enough work early to where we're going to make it.
We can get into football, man. Let's get into football. We had a lot going on as far as NFL. We got the draft coming up in a few weeks. A lot of mock drafts out there. A lot of movement been going on. This was a big move right here. We're going to talk on this for a second. Sam Darnold
to the Carolina Panthers.
He was traded.
Move Move out the way, Teddy Bridgewater.
Being that you the resident quarterback, what's your thoughts on that? You think it's a good start for him? Or
First
what?
of all, I'm gonna say shout out to Teddy Bridgewater because you got paid. So and I just don't think my eyes. I don't think Teddy is what he used to be. Did they give him enough time? Maybe not. They could have maybe given him another year. But this coach with Carolina, he wants to prove that he's supposed to be in the NFL as a NFL coach. So Coach Rule, he's going to do what he has to do, and he went and got Sam Darnold, and they looking to air it out next year. Sam Darnold does have more weapons than he had in New York.
Oh, definitely that, yeah.
He definitely has that. So I believe in Sam Darnold. I think he can be a pretty good quarterback. The New York Jets, they just pretty toxic right now with Gates. It's just too much stuff going on.
Gates is gone though. He's gone.
Yeah, well, it's still the remnants of him, behind. So they got to make those changes.
They got that defensive coordinator Sala from San Fran. I think they're gonna clean it up. But they messed up Darnold. They really did. They messed him up.
They messed him up in New York, but I think he's excited. He has a new change, new look. Christian McCaffrey out the backfield. Yeah,
That always gonna help.
But Sam Darnold, I'm gonna just tell you, welcome to the NFL South, the NFC South. Yes. Ask Tom about it. Ask anybody about it.
Oh, ask Tom about it. He the champ. That's the only one you need to ask about the NFC South. You don't need to ask.
I was talking about the two
else.
regular season games.
Oh, what about the regular season games? You don't need to ask nobody else about the NFC South, Sam.
Just ask Tom
Go
how
ask
many.
Tom.
Ask him
That's
how many
it.
times he was on his back playing against us. Just ask him that.
Okay, and ask him how it felt when he was holding up that Super Bowl trophy at the end of the year after he beat Patrick Mahomes. Is you really making that argument? Boy, hush. Hush, stop it. I'm not going to let you do it.
Our
It's not happening.
tight end fumbled, and he cost us the game, and that's why we let him go at the end of the year.
Got rid of him. He going now.
Yeah, he wasn't cooking anymore. Jared Cook, you wasn't cooking for us. But thank you, though. We appreciate what you did. I'm not like Ryan. I'm not going to just destroy you.
Oh, no, I don't do
But
that with
it
football.
was
Football's
time for
still
you
in
to.
my
It's
squad.
time for you to go. You did enough in the NFL. Good job.
Well, we got the draft coming up, and a lot of movement, a lot of trades, a lot of mock drafts. So let's get into what a lot of folks are talking about. We got the top. Well, we did the quarterbacks last week when it was me, Fur, and Waylon. This week, let's talk about the running backs here for a second. Top 5 as told by Bucky. I think that's Bucky Brooks from NFL Network. We're going to break down this little list for a second. He got number 1 running back prospect, Najee Harris out of Alabama. Number 2, Travis Etienne, who I think is being slept on. He's going to be a demon when he get into the league.
It's funny that you said that because when you pull that picture up, I was thinking to myself, I was about to say that out of all of those running backs, I want to see him because he's going to be exciting. He can catch the ball out the backfield. Like, he's going to be very, very exciting.
And what's going to end up happening?
Very entertaining.
He might end up falling a little bit and end up going to a good team and end up balling and end up helping the team make a push in the playoffs. That's the type of player he's going to be when he gets in
I
there.
just
Watch.
hope he don't end up in Dallas, man.
Drafted
With
a
all
running
that
back.
talent.
Why draft? Why you? Anyway, man. Javonte Williams, the number 3 prospect.
I'm just saying.
Number 4 prospect, Michael Carter. And number 5, Trey Sermon out of Ohio State. So what are your thoughts just as far as prospects go? Do you think he got the list right? Any movement? Would you add anybody, take anybody away? As far as the running backs go.
I like the list right there. Najee, yeah, he is a NFL prototype running back. He's up and down the field. He is athletic. He has a lot of agility. He can jump over you in the middle of a run. He could run over you. He can dice you.
Bama backs.
I think the reason why Najee is going before Travis Etienne is simply because of his size. He's a more full running back. Etienne right behind him with all the talent and the speed. He's way faster than Harris and Najee.
Yeah, I want to say he ran a 4.3.
Yeah, so that's why I want to see him because he catches the ball out the backfield. And in this new league, the way that the NFL is, a running back like him, he could be like a Christian McCaffrey.
True.
Out the backfield. I could see that with him. And then also running through the lane like a Camara. You know what I mean? Like, I see all of that in him whenever he's playing. That's my favorite running back. Not to mention, he from Jennings, Louisiana, down the street. So we're going to support him anyway. LSU missed him, clean missed him.
Yeah, they
but
did.
that's
Yeah, they
another
did.
story. But shout out to them backs, man. I like that. I like the crew that's going out there.
So a good crop of running backs, and now we got the wide receivers, and a lot out the SEC as far as like the top 5 wide receiver prospects, as told by James Jones. I believe he's on the NFL Network too. He got his number 1 wide receiver prospect as Jalen Waddle from Alabama. Number 2, Jamar Chase from LSU. I see some lists where they got Jamar Chase at number 1. Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, number 3 prospect. Number 4, Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. And number 5, I hadn't really heard of this young man too much, Austin Watkins Jr. from UAB. But if he's a number 5 prospect, I'm sure he's going to make some noise coming soon. So I like Jamar Chase. I think maybe he should be the number 1, tell you the truth. As far as just prospects go, Alabama, they got a good stable of wide receivers with Waddle, and you had Smith on the other side. They'll end up going high, but Jamar Chase, from what I've been hearing, he's like a game changer. And I don't even think he played last year because of COVID. So he just been training for like all year, just training, getting ready.
Yeah, he never played. He opted out at the beginning of the year. I like that list. I like the way it is. It could be either 1 or 2. They can flip. It doesn't matter either way it go. They both leaving out very early in the first couple rounds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As far I would probably, if I had to make a pick, I would pick Chase. And once again, it's not because I'm being biased with LSU, but I'm looking at size again. And he catches the ball and he takes shots and hits. He keeps running. So that's why I like him. You know, the receivers that can take a blow and keep running like that, that's the ones you want out there.
Big and strong and everything.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to like this mock draft then. This is from Todd McShay. If you know him, Mel Kiper, they're like the gurus when it comes to the mock drafts. They actually have Jamar Chase going to the Bengals at number 5. Go team up with Burrow.
Well, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that on ESPN, that they trying to, get them back together.
That would be a matchup. I like
They
that.
need to worry about getting some offensive linemen for Burrow instead of trying to get a wide receiver. Because if they can't block and get you hurt again, you can't even pass the ball. So they need to get some linemen.
They talking about Mac Jones going to San Francisco at number 3. What you think about that? Because I got some thoughts on that. I don't know.
I mean, that's a tricky situation because I heard the Pats had like him too, and
they would have to
what you gonna do with Garoppolo?
They said they're gonna keep him this year. They said they're gonna.
Yeah,
keep
but
him.
if you draft Mac Jones, then that we all know it's just a matter of time.
They'll do him like they did Mahomes and Alex Smith.
So
Sit him for a year.
If I was Garoppolo and Garoppolo agent, we'd have to be having some serious conversations because if y'all gonna draft him, then y'all if I start making a few mistakes, y'all might be ready to like boot me to the curb.
I guess my question is Mac Jones really that good to be the 3rd pick in the draft? Like, he's hopping over Justin Fields, and Justin Fields was supposed to be like number 2 all year, and all of a sudden here come Mac Jones.
I'm going to say, in my eyes, the reason why they have him ranked like that is because he was surrounded around a lot of weapons. And in the NFL, if you can surround a quarterback with a lot of weapons and he can do what he do like that, he's a tall quarterback. He knows how to read. He coming from the Nick Saban crew. I mean, I think that he's worth the 3rd pick for sure.
Well, San Fran would be the place for him to go because San Fran has talent. But I don't know if he's better than some of the other quarterbacks that he would jump over. That's just my opinion.
Well, he's jumping over because the team is showing interest in him like that. Yeah, it's not necessarily that he's better than the next man, but that team that has that pick, they showing a lot of interest in him.
Yeah, that's who they want. So
yeah.
If that's the guy you want, you take the guy you want.
Yeah. So in the Saints, I even seen the Saints was looking at Kyle Trask from Florida. And I like him too. I'm still kind of 50-50 with the situation with the Saints quarterback. I'm not really.
Jameis and
Yeah, I'm not really. I've been trying to keep up with it and figure out what's going on. But
James not gonna get a shot.
I think that they should draft Trask, and the reason why I think they should do that is because the situation we have with our quarterbacks trying to find somebody to replace Drew Brees, we need to make sure that whatever quarterback is starting on the field, that he understands that he has pressure behind him. And so if they draft somebody like Trask, then that'll make Jameson, you either going to step it up and play good and keep your position, or you're going to fall off. But you need to have that pressure. You understand? And that's what I think San Francisco is trying to do with Garoppolo, but I don't know why they're doing it with him because he have a whole lot of years left.
And he got him to a Super Bowl.
You know,
Like, I mean, that
and
shit count for
that's what
something.
I'm saying. That's the difference with Jameis. Jameis, he have a lot of stats, but he never been a winner. And Tom Brady go to the same team, same players that you had, and they
made it
won
to
a
the
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I
That's true.
mean? So, and I'm not saying you Tom Brady, and I'm not trying to dish you and compare you to that. It's just that
Put some
you
heat
could have
underneath 'em, some pressure.
your team could have done a lot better had you been a better quarterback.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because you got some of the tools.
But then you don't know the situation because he had a different head coach for the most of his time.
Yeah,
I think
he
he had a
didn't have
couple
Roseanne.
different coaches his first few years or something
that's
like.
true.
So I don't remember, but
It was something like almost Sam Darnold. Kinda,
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
point. You changing coordinators and coaches every year. Arians didn't get there till his last year, and he played 1 year with Arians, and then Arians was like, "Okay, I'm done with this.
Yep.
Let's go get Tom."
And
or
who
whatever.
knows, man? His time in New Orleans behind a legend like Drew Brees, he may have found himself, but that's to be seen, and that's why I'm kind of.
I would like to see it though.
We're gonna just have to see it on the field and see how it goes in the beginning.
Mock draft of 6 through 10. They got Devontae Smith going to Miami, teaming up with Tua. Trey Lance. I like Trey Lance. Quarterback out of North Dakota State. They got Carolina taking him, but I think that might have been before the Sam Darnold trade because they're not going to take a quarterback if they got Darnold. I can't see them taking Trey Lance. That's not happening.
No.
Jalen Waddle, number 8, going to the Detroit Lions. No, boy, that's where talent go to die.
No, they go to die to the one that's at the bottom.
Stop that. Patrick Surtain, they got him going to Denver. They had him going to Dallas for the longest time. I want Surtain, but I don't know if he's still going to be there. And they got us taking J.C. Horn with the 10th pick cornerback.
JC going
South
to the
Carolina.
How y'all taking Joe Horn's son to the graveyard?
Bruh, look, we're going to be better next year. Stop that. Number 11, they got Justin Fields falling all the way to the Pats. That would be something. Mr. Whalen would be up in here wearing that jersey proud.
I'm not sure.
Talking about
I'm not
Bill.
sure if Whalen would wear that jersey. Whalen, he likes vanilla, and I'm not sure if he's gonna be wearing a Justin Fields jersey.
You did not just say that, boy. Stop that. Oh, he gonna cuss you out. Oh, when he see this. Hey, Whalen, that's Reg on his own.
What he do with that? Yeah.
That's him on his own. He said he like vanilla. He's into the swirl. There's no swirl. We can't get no swirl.
No, straight vanilla.
But they got Cam back. I mean, you know.
He don't drink coffee. He drink cream.
They got Michael Parsons, the number 12 pick, going to Philly. They got the big offensive tackle, who they say probably the best offensive tackle in the draft, going to the Chargers. That left tackle, he would be there for Justin Herbert. That would help protect that line. Rashawn Slater, 14, and I don't even want to mess up this guy's name. Great linebacker out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu Karamoa, going to the Giants.
That's Siri.
That's mock draft right there for you. We'll be getting a lot more into it as the draft gets closer. We're anticipating more moves to be made and see what our teams are doing. But last 10 minutes of the show here, we got UFC 261. Reggie F, what you got to speak on it, bruh?
Well, we got 261 coming up in a couple weeks, April 24th, and it's a massive card. They've been putting together some really good cards, but they said that at the beginning that they was gonna have some big time fights, and this is a big time fight that's coming up. It's a lot of major players, title fights. It's the rematch of Usman and Masvidal. Part 2.
I remember that one. I remember the first one.
So yeah, they're gonna have some good fights. Shevchenko, she's gonna be back at it, defending her title once again. So I'm looking forward to that, April 24th. And then also Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor has signed a trilogy. So they're gonna be fighting again in July. Yes, sir.
That's
they're gonna be fighting again in July. So that's gonna be huge. We're gonna have a big party. We throwing a big party for that fight right there.
I'll be there.
Guarantee that.
So what? Conor won the first one and Dustin won the second?
That's right.
So, okay, tiebreak. I see why you had a third. Because I was wondering why they had a third. Because I thought Dustin might have beaten them both times, but it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1. And he beat Dustin early in his career, like 7 years ago. And this is a new Dustin right here.
So when that fight is?
It's in July.
Okay. Oh, so it's soon.
Yeah,
Real soon.
it's in
UFC
July.
don't wait. UFC don't wait.
Nah, not when we talking money. You can't wait.
Now I heard Ferg was talking about O'Malley. He was gonna be fighting pretty soon. The guy with the colorful hair and everything.
Yeah.
He has a fight coming up pretty soon.
Yeah,
and
he
whatnot.
he did real good his last fight before they got knocked out, but he did real good, and I think he's back. He's back.
You know, we never got your thoughts on the big heavyweight that went and knocked out Stepit Miocic. We never got your thoughts on that because you weren't here. What your quick little thoughts
Oh,
on
with
that?
Francis Ngannou? I mean,
Boy, look like a monster.
he is.
He look like a
It's
monster.
not that he looked like a monster. He is a monster, but you know, he had his struggles too throughout his career. He took some crucial L's, and you know, he's learned, and I'm glad that he's learning to pick up some different fighting skills. And he's powerful, man. All it takes is one punch from him, and you going. Now, John Jones talking about he can't wait for that. He want to fight him, and
When is John Jones fighting
and
though?
Francis talking about he not worried about John Jones. Whoever's next he gonna fight. It doesn't matter, but he's not really entertaining that right now. John Jones I don't know what he's doing.
It just seemed like John Jones just talking mess, just trying to get some media.
No, he trying to get big fights, big money fights.
It's been a minute though.
And if they do fight, that's gonna be Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a big money fight.
And
Everybody's gonna get that fight.
man, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with John Bones Jones.
Really?
And I like Francis. I'm with him, but I mean,
You going with John Jones off a reputation, or
no,
because you think he can really beat him?
I'm going off a skill set. I have not seen nobody hit that his size do what he do. But
Okay.
John Bone Jones, he's the only one. Like he has everything: the punching, the kicking, the grappling, everything.
Well, I'm gonna leave it to your expertise on that because you more UFC than me.
He has everything. That's why he was so special, and that's why he's still special today. But his mind is the thing that cost him. He could have been so much better and so much bigger, and so much more successful. But sometimes he can't handle it, and he had a, I don't know, hopefully he's not doing it now, but he had a problem with cocaine.
Yeah, he had troubles. He had troubles back in the gap.
You
Hard to
know.
get that monkey off his back.
Party animal.
Speaking of that, since we got to this turn right here, we got to show some love. We getting toward the end of the podcast here. If you came up in the late 90s, early 2000s, the dog, Rough Riders, DMX.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
The dog, he was rushed to the hospital for an apparent heart attack. I'm not going to speculate on what caused the heart attack. All I know is that he had a heart attack. And he's in the hospital right now, and all kind of reports are out there. I'm not going to speculate on that either because we really don't know. I'm just saying prayers up for the dog. He was a big influence. When I first came into radio, I used to DJ on the radio, and DMX, I had all
Rough
his
Riders.
albums, all his records and everything. And he
Rough
came.
Riders.
That was around the time when Tupac and Biggie had been gone for a little while, and hip hop was looking for another star, and he just took it over.
He
for the
took
most
it
part.
over,
He had
and
a run.
the crazy thing about it is throughout this whole career that he's been having, and he had a successful career. He made some movies. He played on Belly, played on a couple different movies, and he did a whole lot.
Yeah, he
did
did.
a whole lot
In a short time.
And in the midst of all of that, he was battling a
Addiction.
crack addiction. He was battling a drug addiction throughout that, and it was crazy. Is like he never. I guess because we didn't know him like that, maybe his friends around would know whenever he was. But the way he displayed himself to the world, you never knew that until it started coming out later on. Once he was done with his career
And
and
some
rapping,
incidents he had and whatnot that kind of made
different
the
things he
news.
was doing. Like what is he doing? Why is he acting like that? And then you find out, oh, that's what it is. And then you find out that his mentor, whenever he was younger, laced up, some drugs and gave it to him, and he didn't realize what it was. And from that point on, he said he was addicted. I think at 16 or something like
Young,
that.
man,
And to be
young.
at 16 years old addicted, but still manage to be strong enough to be successful like that. He's a really strong-minded man, but he just wasn't strong enough to fight that.
Get that monkey off your back, man. It's so hard for so many people, but for about a good 4-5 year, he had a run.
Man, I say it's a
had a
little
run.
more than 4 or 5 years. You know, yeah,
Maybe like 5 or 6, because he had 2 albums that came out back to back.
and then those movies, they just propelled him to another level as
Romeo
well.
Must Die.
You know what I mean?
Exit Wounds. He was
Yeah.
Steven Seagal in the movie.
Yeah, he just
Belly.
man.
Let's not forget about Belly. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he still would have been doing that today if he wasn't, if he ain't had that problem.
So prayers go up to DMX, man. I hadn't heard any update as
The
of today.
last thing they said that I had saw, and like you said, I don't know everything that's true, but the last thing I saw was that he was breathing on his own. But then he's still in the hospital, and like we was talking about earlier, to me, if he was breathing on his own and he was okay and healthy, people would have knew about that.
And they would have let that out too. So prayers up, man. Prayers up for the dog. That's like a piece of my childhood, early 20s. And
Definitely.
just praying for you, man. Just praying for you. And with that being said, we got about a minute left. Episode 20, the Division Podcast. Check us out, iTunes, Google Play, audio version, video version. Check us out, aocinc.org. We air on Fridays.
YouTube
with
channel, go
repeats.
Subscribe.
Yes, that's the big thing.
YouTube channel, go subscribe.
Subscribe. The Division Podcast. Also,
The Division Podcast.
our Facebook page of the same name. Go ahead and check us out. We've been getting a lot of love on there.
Thank you very much.
And with that being said, I'm Ryan G, your moderator.
And I'm Reggie F, baby.
And we going to holler at y'all next week. Episode 20 is done. Peace.
Yes, sir.